When using your flagship IEMs on the go, have you noticed that there are times where it's almost inconvenient to actually use them due to the wires, the DAPs and everything else they're attached to? But yet, a little voice in the back of your mind goes, you spend so much money on this product. You want to use it. You kind of feel obliged to use it. Well, IFI have introduced a new product, the IFI Go Pods. This plans to open another door to the avenue of super flagship IEMs on the go. Shall we have a look? I'm Koji CO. Welcome to Convince Me Audio. Special thank you goes out to IFI for sending this unit in for review. I've been kind of excited about this because, as you know, on the channel we have a variety of super flagship IEMs over there. Oh, by the way, the reviews will be coming. Where this product itself seems to actually allow us to take it onto another plane. Sometimes I genuinely don't want to be bound to my P6 Pro via wires, etc. If I'm on a run or if I'm going to the gym, etc. or if I'm just out and about. But I would still like very decent sound quality. Now, in my experience, I've tried a couple of these variants of these accessories. I have found up to now they have been subpar, so I've always wanted to use my IFI Go Blu, for example, or just stick to wires because the implementation has neither been elegant or the sound quality really worth the hassle of spending extra money on top of the flagship IEMs. But this plans to bridge all of that. So with that, let's have a quick look. You open this tiny box. This comes in at £399. Please check down below for the latest pricing in your region. A bunch of cables, and this is the unit itself. This is the sarcophagus. This is the housing for the IEMs and the wireless adapters. As you can see, internally is velvet lined. The pods themselves are magnetically settled within their housing here. The IEMs are attached, and then you've got room for 2 more IEMs nicely there. So first and foremost, let's move this to the side and look at some of these accessories and take all of these things out. These IEMs do not come with the Go Pods. They're my LETSHUOER Cadenza12s. These are a £2,300 IEM. So as you can see, I deem this worthy enough to actually use it with such a flagship IEM. Dismantling this unit, let's take the IEMs out. 2-pin obviously, here, and this one here. These pods are attached via these hooks. These hooks are currently 2-pin and 2-pin at the other end, and these other pair that comes with it is MMCX for your sadists who are out there, or for manufacturers who are refusing to let this connection die. But thank you IFI for supplying both of these. The 2-pin gently just goes here, and you genuinely got to be so careful with this, because if you push those 2 pins and they're not in the right place, you're gonna break them. So these are the Go Pods themselves. Those are the hooks, and you just grab an IEM here like this, and you should be able to easily just go bloop, 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 and you just connect the IEMs like that. This hook is very ergonomic. We find on the surface area of the Go Pods here is the touchpad. This is where you tap, double tap, triple tap to access the music, play, pause, rewind, fast forward. You hold to obviously get your assistant. Second of all, we have the case. This is the case. So we place the pods back in here. It's magnetically clasped onto the housing. There are 3 pins that matches the pins here on the back of the pods, and it sits very nicely like that and flush. These 2 little adapters, if you do have MMCX or 2 pins simultaneously with you, you can place underneath like that, and it doesn't take up any room whatsoever. Just lift that like that and put it there as well. And you can easily settle 2 more IEMs in here. I usually carry the Unique Melody Mest Mark II within the case. Now, the USB-C charging is on the back of the case itself. It's fast charging. You've got Qi charging, wireless. You can just put it on top of a wireless charger like that as well. There's an internal lithium battery that I think is around 1,500 milliamps, so it should give you an extra 35 hours of usage. These pods play for around 7 hours depending on volume and how hard the IEMs are hard to drive. Like the CADENZA12s are very hard to drive IEMs, including 11 balanced armatures and 1 dynamic driver, so I usually get about 6.5 hours at moderate to decent volume. Absolutely no problems at all. A bunch of lights to indicate that this unit is charging, that they're in the case, etc. Very simple, very straightforward. So let's talk about some of the functionality, specifications and caveats in the next section. So, the IFI Go Pod supports for the very first time on the market 24-bit 96 kHz high resolution with comparable Qualcomm chipsets from the Android side of things. Obviously this supports LDAC, Adaptix HD, etc. All the codecs, as you see scrolling down the screen here, are available to you. Why is this more beneficial to you than a true wireless IEM like the Apple AirPods Pro 2 or the Samsung or the Sony's? First of all, the circuitry inside the IFI Go Pods is all discrete, is all separated, and it's not bunched onto one SoC. Every aspect of it, including the analog volume control, is separate. We have a dual mono DAC inside these 2 units, 1 per side. Some excellent functionality in regards to how it receives the signal. These 2 units, one in the case here and one in my hand, obviously mirror each other. So the strongest signal will grab the signal off of the source device and then mirror to the other side. And they actively switch if you were to move around the room, etc., or if the signal was to drop. Supporting up to 998 kilobits per second, including using the latest 5.2 Bluetooth technology in the unit. Honestly, I think all equates to a very, very, very nice listening experience on flagship IEMs. The only caveat I have found to be with this unit is that this case is very large. This is not pocketable. This is definitely something that needs to go into a bag, because look at the size of this thing, like versus an Apple AirPods Pro 2 case. But what this gives you that Apple AirPods Pro 2 can only dream about, because taking your Mate 24s, your CADENZA12s, your Unique Melody Mest Mark II, Spirit Torino Twin Pulse, etc., to a superb listening quality is something that the market doesn't have right now, and this is a first, and IFI have blown it out of the water. What I have found strange about this unit is that it's changed my usability habits. I found myself reaching for these more often than not. It's made me use my desktop setups a lot less, which is a product that I love to hate, because that's quite detrimental for a reviewer. So genuinely, if I'm running around the house or if I'm about to run outside, I don't usually take a DAP anymore, because this truly drives the IEMs. We're talking about $2,000 to $3,500 IEMs to about 80% of its potential, and that 80% is done extraordinarily well. So with that, let me finish rambling and let's jump to the sound section. Opening the lid to what seems like a pirate's chest in here, I have two IEMs nestled inside this case. Both of them flagships, both of them daily used. So I'm going to take the Unique Melody Mest Mark II out and place that over here like this, and discuss the one that is attached to the adapter itself, the LETSHUOER Cadenza12. There's a reason why I've chosen a couple of these units, and that is because of their sensitivity, how hard they are to drive, and ergonomic and synergy nightmare, just so that it can give you an idea of how versatile these tiny little adapters genuinely are for the flagship realm of in-ear monitors if you have a pile of them lying around and you don't always want to carry all of these things. For example, the Luxury and Precision P6 Pro, the Chord TT2 and To Go, IFI, Diablo, etc. These units are genuinely very large, and this is designed to be used on the go. So let's discuss. The amp DAC combo inside the IFI Go pods is a neutral sound signature in the same manner of most IFI products, such as the IFI Go Blu, review right here, or the IFI GRYPHON, review here if you fancy checking those units out after this review. It's neutral, it's sweet sounding in the mid-range, and it's actually what I would classify as down the middle reference sort of soundscape. It doesn't imply or imbibe anything of its own characteristics too much onto the drivers of the IEMs that you are actually using with the products. So bearing that in mind, this is how the product performs with these super flagship IEMs. Obviously we have in here the Unique Melody Mest Mark II. This now has been replaced with a Unique Melody Mest Mark III obviously, but this is a flagship IEM product that most of our viewers genuinely still keep around. The other being this unit right here. This is the Ambient Acoustics MAD 24. This is a $3,500 IEM with 24 drivers. The sensitivity of this unit is kind of unique. It's 2.3 ohms, so noise floor is a very big issue for a lot of dongles and amp DACs, etc. So that is the reason why I've placed this on the desk, because it actually showcases how versatile the IFI Go pods can genuinely be. But the best synergy I have found has been this, the Cadenza 12 from LETSHUOER. This is a difficult IEM to drive genuinely with a dynamic driver and 11 balanced armatures. It's very difficult to get the full performance out of these on a lot of dongles, even like something as incredible as the CMA M15 review right here. Those products genuinely can drive these, but it needs finesse. This sweet neutral sound genuinely seems to synergize very well with neutral dark IEMs, the Cadenza 12 being one of those, or the Avant from Sounds. Some of these IEMs that have this sort of sweet Diana V2 LCD5 and the ZMF Atrium tuning tends to be the most gorgeous sounding with this unit. Let's break down its technicality with these IEMs in this field. Bass response is punchy, sub-bass digs low, there is no roll-off where you think there isn't enough amplification to drive the sub-bass all the way down. It does nicely emphasize the sub-bass region. Mid-bass, where the track calls for it, has enough oomph and punch definitely to be there. It's a very balanced sound. Mid-range, beautifully concentrate on vocals right here in the center. Instruments are very well articulated, and when you're on the go, it's rather difficult to realize on this unit that you're using a Bluetooth device. There are a few devices that do this with varying degrees of success. The luxury and precision P6 Pro is one of the absolute best in the industry for this, and I think 90% of people will genuinely be fooled, not realizing that you might be Bluetoothing LDAC into this system. The other one being the Astelon Kern SE300. That is another fantastic one. But generally, sub 1000, the IFI Go Pods here have genuinely surprised me. Articulation in the treble region is well pronounced. It's well detailed so that you're getting the upper frets of guitars, for example, the 6th fret and higher, harmonics and tambourines, and the trailing ends of cymbals and hi-hats are never lost. And that's quite surprising for a Bluetooth device, genuinely. Is it as articulate and is it as realistic as the Luxury and Precision P6 Pro? No, it's not. But we've got to bear in mind that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the price, roughly. I think the IFI Go Pod is around 400, that thing's 4,000. So bear that in mind. But if you're running around, there will be occasions when you will stop in your tracks and go, okay, this is really good. So, Cadenza 12, a very hard to drive IEM, very synergy prone, is driven very nicely. You've got dark black background, you've got well articulation of instruments, excellent separation, vocal is front and center, good punch from the mid bass, good textural information and timbre in the sub bass and in the treble region and the upper mid range, where sticks and incisive edges of attack of edges of drum kits and wood sounds tend to resonate and reside. Transparency and resolution seems to be very, very good for this line of products, and honestly it has changed my habits in regards to what I use in the mornings, which is a product I would love to hate because it just makes things so simple. Let's move over to the Unique Melody Mest Mark II. I presume this would reside in the same category as the Unique Melody Mest Mark III as well, where sub bass definitely digs low and it feels like those dual 2.2 systems. Articulation of the treble region, this has E-stats in it and it drives it very, very well. Excellent mid-range, and it's non-fatiguing, non-offensive, good separation. Every instrument seems to be dotted around the stage, and not only in width but in depth as well, and a touch of good timbre for Bluetooth, which is quite rare, seems to be on tap. This does a very, very good job. So for example, Cadenza 12, Unique Melody Mest Mark II, and obviously if you're in the region of Ambient Acoustics MAD 24. Now the performance level of this unit is obviously the best synergized with this, the Luxury and Precision P6 Pro. But on the go, if you have one of these or a custom variant of these, honestly, it does a good enough job. We're talking 80% of IEM potential on the go. The last 20% of timbre, realism, and spatial presentation and portrayal of the music when you sit down to analyze is not something you do on the go. But it's so good, it will surprise you on the go. Even with complicated, annoying IEMs that have a lot of problems in regards to pairing amplification and DACs. Strings seems to be very nicely articulated. You've got nice edge of attack, so it actually feels like it's a real instrument rather than, say, for example, AirPods Max sort of scenario or all-in-one Bluetooth headphone. No, this does sound like the IEM innately performing well on a nice and a comfortable amp-DAC combo. You are obviously separating both sides of the drivers. You've got one for the left, obviously, and one for the right. So amplification and DACs seems to be running dual mono. This seems to be playing a very big role compared to something like the IFI Go Blu review here. And that genuinely is conducive to a much better sonic characteristic. This is my favorite Bluetooth device right now. I am permanently attaching the Cadenza 12, and those are $2,300 to this unit so that I can constantly have it on the go. It's my true wireless. I rarely change IEMs with this except for the review. For my own use case, Cadenza 12 has been perfect. And if I want to push the boundaries of portable on the go, I have the Luxury and Precision P6 Pro, and we've got a myriad of other devices here. But genuinely, you will get more use case out of your IEMs, including those scenarios when you don't wires attached to you if you have one of these at hand. It's that good. And you will be able to nestle two of these units in the case at the same time. Breaking down the frequency response with a track using the LETSHUOER Cadenza 12, let's begin. Using a very difficult EDM track that we test a lot here, Lilith. I will link the track down below somewhere here so that you guys can check it out. Honestly, most of the time I feel as though I'm involved in the music. So sub bass for EDM is definitely there for this track, though it's quite hard to dig that low, especially with Cadenza 12s. The Go Pods manages it exceptionally well. The punch for the attack is definitely there. The rumble and body of the synth in the sub bass is definitely there. Timbre seems to be doing a very good job, even though it's electronic music. It seems to be articulating well without any of that plasticky, Bluetoothy, crunchy sort of sound that a lot of Bluetooth devices unfortunately have a tendency to convey. Treble region seems to be airy and up there with nice articulation. So I do feel as though I'm involved in the music. I like to tap my feet, I want to run. It seems to be doing a very nice job across the frequency band. So, and that is using genuinely a very hard to drive IEM. Okay, let's move on to some of the caveats of this unit. As you can see, this is a very big case. This is definitely a backpack sort of case. I can't put this in my jeans at all, no chance. But with the added benefit of a 5000 milliamp battery internally and the space for two IEMs in here, it's definitely more of a travel case. And wireless charging is already on tap. If you're an Apple or Android user, you're already going to be carrying one of those pucks with you anyway, and you just sort of plonk it down. The very large casing is a problem if you're planning to take this on the go with you, if you're planning to go out just for a very short duration. So I do highly recommend a small case like this so that you can have the units with you, but the 6 or 5 hours of usage is adequate for that need. A gym environment, for example, would be very, very good for that. The other caveat being, this is quite expensive. This is £400. You need to know who you are to buy this. I think if you have a variety of flagship IEMs, this is almost essential. You honestly will make more use of your IEMs in environments that you normally would not, because of care, because of wires, etc. This opens up a few more doors for you, and it will genuinely change your usage of those IEMs, because they will become more and more enticing to use in environments where you didn't expect, like the Cadenza 12 for me. They're tiny. This is really well built for that category, but it is £400. So bear that in mind, and please check down below for the latest pricing, because prices tend to fluctuate up and down. It's for a subset of audience. You know who you are if you want the IFI Go Pods. Honestly, that is the only caveat I could put there. I've had no issues with connectivity, I've had no issues with charging, disconnections, and I've been using it nigh on a month now. So let's talk about the conclusion. Should you buy the IFI Go Pods? If you have a variety of IEMs in the flagship realm, yes. If you have a 1 or 2 IEMs that are sub 500 and you want to turn them into Bluetooth, I think the IFI Go Blu here might be more useful. So check out the review for that. It's like 175 to 200 pounds, half the price, and it pretty much will do the same thing, almost. You will still have to have a wire between the IEMs and this. This is for those who know that they want it. But is it good? Yes. Is sound quality good? It's exceptional, and it's very versatile. I highly recommend this. This is going to win an award this year. IFI have come out of the gate swinging, and I think they have actually delivered something with LDAC 24-bit, lossless when compatible, that the market, I hope, will take on. Build quality, 4 Tigers out of 5. If it was a bit smaller, I'll give it 5. Sound quality, 5 Tigers out of 5. Versatility, 5 Tigers out of 5. It having the ability to annoy you because it changes your use case and you will stop using DAPs and things more than you normally would. 5 Tigers out of 5, most certainly. Well done, IFI. I am so impressed with this one, genuinely. Absolutely fantastic. If you like reviews such as these, seeing as we're doing YouTube full-time now, every share, like, and your kind support on Patreon allows Jamie, our cameraman, to shoot and film for us on time, our editors to edit our videos on time, and obviously for us to get equipment such as all of these things when manufacturers can't send or it's impossible to send, where we have to purchase. It becomes a great help. It becomes a fantastic help when you guys assist. But if you can't, your share, your like, your comments down below is all I require from you. Thanks again for watching. I will see you in the comment section down below in a moment. Take care.